So, have you noticed how AI like ChatGPT suddenly seems to have these real world superpowers? It feels like one day it was just a brain in a jar, and the next, it's an active player out in the world. Well, let's get into it, because the answer is this incredible framework called LangChain, and trust me, it is completely changing the game for how we build with AI.
Here's the plan for the next few minutes. We're going to start with a simple mystery. Then we'll unlock the idea of an AI agent. From there, we'll see how to build a whole team of them, and finally, discover why LangChain is the master key that brings it all together. All right, let's kick things off with that mystery. We all know that large language models, or LLMs, are trained on a fixed chunk of data from the past, so they really shouldn't know anything about what's happening right now. But somehow, they do. Just think about it for a second. If you have an LLM that finished its training last year and you ask it about today's weather, it should have no idea, right? It has no access to live information. So what's going on here? How is it breaking out of that digital box? Well, here's the difference in action. On the left, you've got your basic LLM. It gives you a generic pattern-based answer. Kind of useless. But on the right, you have something totally new, an AI agent. It can actually do something. It can search the web and give you a live, factual answer. And that leap is what this is all about.
So, the secret sauce here is a concept called the AI agent. This is the first really big idea you need to grasp. We're basically giving that powerful AI brain a body, with hands and eyes so it can interact with the real world. So, what exactly is an AI agent? Simply put, it's an LLM that's been handed toolkit. It uses that amazing language brain to think through a problem, and then it picks up its external tools, like a web search, a calculator, or a company's private database, to actually go out and get the job done.
The recipe is actually pretty simple. You start with a powerful brain, the LLM. Then you give it hands and eyes in the form of tools. It's this exact combination that turns it from just a text generator into a real task completer. And it all comes down to this one simple equation. A large language model plus a set of tools equals an AI agent. Remember this because it is the fundamental building block for everything we're about to talk about. Okay, so we've got one agent. That's cool. But what happens when you get a whole team of them working together? Now we're leveling up and entering the really exciting world of agentic AI. Agentic AI is all about orchestrating multiple specialized agents. I want you to picture a digital project team. You've got your research agent digging up data, a finance agent running the numbers, and a marketing agent writing the copy. The crazy part is they all talk to each other and collaborate to hit a complex goal, all on their own. Now, this all sounds amazing, right? But you're probably thinking, how on earth do you actually build this stuff? It sounds incredibly complicated. And that is exactly where LangChain comes in. It's the master key that makes all of this possible for developers. I mean, think about what a headache it was before LangChain. If you wanted to use an AI from OpenAI and another from Google and maybe one from Anthropic, you'd have to learn 3 different toolkits. LangChain just sweeps all that complexity away. It acts like a universal adapter, which isn't just a time saver, it's a game changer. So, why are developers all over this? Because it brings order to the chaos. It gives you a whole library of pre-built, reliable components. You're not starting from zero. You're snapping together powerful building blocks, which means you can focus on being creative instead of just reinventing the wheel. Okay, let's pop the hood for a second. How does LangChain actually wire all these pieces together? Well, the clue is right there in the name. It uses a simple but ridiculously powerful idea called a chain. At the very heart of LangChain is this elegant syntax. It's called the LangChain Expression Language, or LCL. And that little vertical line you see, the pipe, that's the magic. It works like a conveyor belt, taking the output from one step and feeding it straight into the next. It creates this perfect, seamless flow. So let's break down this simple chain. First up, you have the prompt, which is just the user's question all nicely formatted. That gets piped over to the LLM, the AI brain, which does the thinking. And finally, the AI's raw answer goes through an output parser to get it cleaned up and structured. And that last step, the parser, it is absolutely crucial. See, for an AI to be a reliable part of a bigger software system, it can't just spit out a random blob of conversational text. No way. You need clean, predictable, structured data that another computer program can instantly understand and use. And just look at the difference it makes. On the left, you've got a typical chatbot answer. Fine for a human, useless for a machine.
But on the right, after the output parser works its magic, you get perfect, structured data. Now another program can easily grab the setup and the punchline without any guesswork. This is how you build real automated systems. Okay, let's zoom all the way out. Why is this such a big deal? Because LangChain and agentic AI are creating a massive shift in what we can even expect software to do. We are moving away from programs that just follow our instructions to programs that can actually think and act for themselves. At the end of the day, this is a huge leap. We're not just asking an AI to write an email anymore. With LangChain, we're building entire automated pipelines, the same kind of complex data pipelines that run the entire modern tech world. We're going from writing simple prompts to designing intelligent, autonomous processes. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? First, AI is breaking out of the chatbot box for good. Second, LangChain is the foundational tool that's letting us build these new autonomous systems. And these aren't just any systems. They can reason, they can plan, and they can act to solve incredibly complex problems. This isn't just another update. This is unlocking a whole new class of applications we're just now starting to dream up. So I'll leave you with this thought. Now that you know it's possible to build a custom team of specialized AI agents and set them loose on almost any problem, what would you have them solve? What big, thorny problem would you sick them on? The possibilities, as you can see, are just beginning to open up.